So here we are back in Mittenrahm at the end of week 62, working on the Battle of Brakenrahm. Can see most of it. We all know what's missing from this bit. Take a quick look before I put on potions so you can just see things slightly better. Obviously I intend people to see this without a potion. The darkness is effectively part of the design, so you're not really meant to be able to see. A lot has been done. The collar, as I call it, is finished. This means all of this is done all the way around, and the outer markings of the collar has been done as well. I'm focused back again on building the main mouth tentacles. Again, we'll take a little bit of a look at those in a moment. I've only got 2 more to do. I'm probably going to start today with filling in the remaining bit on this, working out where these 3 heads will be, or 3 tentacles will be. I'll probably start filling this one in, but may plan out the basics of this one next before I do. I'm putting in a little bit of lighting. It's not super necessary. This stuff will be hidden. This is here just to provide light for the glass. But yeah, this should be covered by what is done back here. I've put in what would be considered all of the collar section. This side obviously has a lot more. I think before I progress bringing this back further, I might actually even out both sides. Filling in whatever is going into this space, the reverse side, is probably going to happen last, or near last. The front is the focus. So, yeah. I've got 2 designs here. I prefer this one with its straighter lines, but then they're curved as they meet the edges, rather than this one which is just swirls. I did threaten to modify the lower one here compared to the first one that was done, which I did, and I think I prefer the design of this more or less. It was intended to be bigger, which I don't think it's as thick, and it's definitely not as long. Maybe about the same length, but I don't know. I don't think I really want to throw any more in, although there looks like there is room. It's 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, and then the 7, so maybe a little bit of room to add another layer all the way along. And just bring it down the other side. Anyway, so the collar, as I said, is complete as far as I'm concerned. I don't think there's anything else I need to do. Maybe some of the patterning work you can see on the other side. I mean, some of it's been done bits and pieces, but this kind of thing is naturally now on about a quarter of the other side. I think I may stop because I think I need to do this and complete this once more of the back is in place, so it's a integrated design and not just designs down one strip and then there's more designs down the next strip. I need to kind of blend it and merge it a little bit better than that. Still planning at the moment to keep holes like this in. It's not a physical creature, it doesn't have an actual body. And this is a manifestation of the void, as I've said, and not a living thing, at least. One thing I'm still wondering about is where these tentacles go, how far back they go on the body. I've been experimenting on this one, which I think I like the way that it goes, but I don't know. I think maybe it does need to come back a little bit further, maybe here. I'm obviously experimenting here. I think whatever I come up with at this point will be applied to the remaining two, or three actually, and that one's not far enough along. And then these will have to be retroactively altered. Now I've built these with only half of the body in place, because I am still planning to use something like this. It's not too bad. It's effective from a distance. Brings some colour. It does raise a question of what the orientation of the tentacle is. It's like, you look at this and you kind of assume that it's twisting, so that the head, if it had a face, you know, the eyes would be here. And of course that's not really a meaningful thing to this thing. Its heads are orientated all over the place, or whatever these are, and mouths of mouths of mouths. You know, there's just a sense that as it pokes out like this, that this pattern or this style should start facing inwards and then rotate around to be underneath. It just feels like that should be the way. But I am the bottom right here. You can see I've purposely left the half that corresponds to just being inward all the time, with just parts of the head being solid, which is actually the case with the one up there. The main head, the pattern doesn't go all the way to the front of the mouth. So I may be planning to just let them orientate whichever way they happen to be, because, you know, it's in space, the creature doesn't really have a sense of direction. The idea that these mouths or tentacles look at things is contrary to the concept of the creature, so I may be struggling simply with a perception based on how we see the world versus the way in which this creature would look. So this bottom tentacle, this may be the reality of it, and that's the way I go with. And these ones where I'm like, oh, I just feel like it really ought to just be twisted so that they're upright, or they're facing the right way up, is like a nonsensical concept. So, you know. But it's on the back burner. I'm inquiring about how to handle the remains of this. putting teeth in. I mean, I was originally like going with this idea. They can't be done the same as the other one. I'll show you in a minute. And it's already been seen, but those ones bend backwards, and that doesn't work with the way that I've done this. I was then thinking, well, maybe a lower one, but when it was in place, I was like, well, I could go with both. But yeah, so I mean, I'm going to have to choose, and it's proving pretty difficult to choose. Which also brings us to this. Still not sure about where this is going. The purple underbelly design could connect back to this. I don't know how far back it would go. It's difficult to bring this back the way that it is, because it will cut off part of this. But then what effect does that have on these coming back, and then how would this look? I do have to get rid of the teeth, unfortunately. They can't stay there. Not with the way that this one has been done. But again, the idea that this thing has a mouth and teeth is also kind of inherently nonsensical. It doesn't need to eat, it does not have a stomach to process food. The things that it touches simply disappear from existence. It's not swallowing it. So yeah, lots of questions. Few answers. I'm going to just keep building the main structure until I reach a point where I don't have anything else to do other than take a stab at finishing the finishing touches, which is also going to include questions about the actual appearance of the main body. You know, very blocky, very pixely, and generally I'm okay with that because I don't have a problem with my mobs looking like glorified Minecraft mobs. I've been doing that with the statues for a long time, so you know, this blockiness, it's just the way it is. They're a Minecraft mob, as far as I'm concerned. It's just the way that it looks. But this guy is quite big, and because it's big and the curves are big, it's creating these huge flat surfaces. I mean, these ones, the tentacle body coming across is covering it, but look at this, huge flat surfaces. And these are really big flat things as well, and I'm having to try and obscure them with ridging. Almost, I'm treating it almost as if it's terrain. That's what I'm going to have to do in order to get this to look good when it's finished. Which I've been doing for a little while, throwing down extra blocks. I've been doing other experiments. You can see there's a ridge here. It's almost like something's growing across it. And tried something similar using obsidian, but the obsidian's too different. It's miles darker than the blackstone. So I can't really use that, but yeah, that covers it. And it's come a long way quite quickly, I think, so I don't know how much longer it will take, because there's going to be a lot of finishing on this. So yeah, that can take a while. But I'll be back in another 2 weeks after some more building. So I'll say adieu and get on with some of this.